Hi guys, today is 9th of December 2018 and this is a new edition of Walk Around Kharkov with Michael Mordinson. Let's go. I thought it will be interesting for you to see what does the city look like just a few weeks before the New Year's. As you can see, we have some snow already. It's actually the second time it snows big time in 2018. The previous snows that we had a few weeks ago, it all melted away already, and right now I am walking. I'm just a few meters away from our office. You see the red brick building right there behind me, and this place which you see is Stella, and you can see the names there in little print. This is the monument that is devoted to all the guys who were from Kharkov, who were killed in the war in Afghanistan, 1979, 1989. As you probably know, the Soviet Union has invaded Afghanistan in 1979, and it was a tough time because many of the young guys from all over the Soviet Union, including Kharkov, had to go to a country which they know nothing about and had little reason to be there really. So I just walked across this place, and now I am coming to the Naukova subway station. There is a Kharkov is one of, I think, two cities of Ukraine that has the subway. Only Kharkov and Kiev has it. Ours is about 30 stations, I think, around the city. It's very efficient. It's sometimes much faster than a car because there is no traffic, obviously. So right now I'm at the Naukova station, and I'll just go on. You see, this is the entrance. Let's see if I can. No, I'll have to go back. This is the entrance to the subway. I'll go down with you guys. A lot of our advertising. This is a question that guys often ask me: how do ladies find out about us? How do they know about us? There are a few ways. The major one is the word of mouth, of course, because there are many ladies whose friends, whose lady friends were in the agency and found somebody, and so they decide to do the same. You see, that's where people go when they want to go to the subway. And I'm not gonna go there. By the way, a trivia question. You see this thing here? It goes down, and it's also on the ceiling and the wall. That's a protective curtain in case of biological attack. The blueprints for those stations were created during the Soviet times, so they had to have things like that in mind, just in case the war breaks out. By the way, the stations in Moscow and some other places, they are designed to also serve as bomb shelters. And I even had a teacher, my science teacher at high school. She was an older lady, and when she was a little girl, they were in Moscow and that's when the war broke out. So they had to stay in one of the subway stations in Moscow during some of the Nazi air raids. It was a scary time. So you see, I walked out on the other side of the Science Avenue, which until a few years ago used to be called Lenin Avenue, but there is a new law in Ukraine that prohibits the mentioning of the communist leaders and members of the Communist Party at large. I'm just walking by the restaurant called Green Parrot. It's a very nice place, and the place where I'm heading is called Sumskoy Market. It's a very cool place. It will probably remind you of a farmer market. It's indoors, it's very nice inside, and it's just a few blocks away from our place, so very cool place to get groceries and stuff like that. Here we have, those are newer buildings, the high-rise. I think they just built it like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. And a few new businesses. 7 Burgers, beer market. You see a lot of the street signs are in English, so you don't even need to know Russian or Ukrainian to understand that the place, which is called 7 Burgers, chances are that they sell burgers. By the way, burgers are a trendy scene here right now. It's a very, very popular to eat burgers, and we have all kinds of places that make and sell burgers. It started to snow, and then the snow turned into the rain here. So I'm continuing walking down the Kultury Street, and we're heading to the Sumskoy market to see what's happening there. This is a quieter part of the downtown. This is a unfinished construction site, and there is a school nearby. Yeah. Because it's Sunday today, not too many people and not too many cars. And I just walked, I should have shown it to you. It's a musical school. In Ukraine, it's very popular to send kids to the musical schools. You see the girls, she has the violin case in her hand, so they are heading to the school. And as I said, it's quite popular to send kids to learn music. There is a temperature right there. It's 9th of December. So the temperature is not that bad at all. It's kind of usual for December, the weather right now, because it's normally not very cold, and the temperature was 3 degrees above zero, which is, as I said, it's quite typical for December. This is a school. That building behind me is a school. Unlike United States and Ukraine, our elementary school, junior high school, and high school, they are basically located in the same building, so they're not separated. So kids of all ages from 6 till 17 or 18, they come to the same building. That's a newer building right there too. I think this is the highest building that we have in the city. I think it's 24, 25 floors, and this is the height. We have several of this height, but I think this is the highest you get in terms of residential in Kharkov. Yeah. Now it's snowing again. It was raining, and now it's snowing again. Just another turn. Those are residential buildings. You see, they've been here for a long time. They look like they were built before the World War II, I guess. Okay, so this is the Sumskoy market. It says Rynek right there above the entrance. It means market in Russian. You see here we have some trees for sale. But let's go inside the market and see. It's a wine store in Vino. There is a famous saying in Vino Veritas, which means the truth is in wine. It's a money exchange and a flower store. It's a nice restaurant called Alt Beer. Oh, there is a wedding. This is the way they decorate the cars for the weddings. The ribbons and the rings on the top. Pretty neat. This place, this restaurant has a summer area here during the warm time of the year. So inside the market, right, the first thing that you see is the fruits, and here they make very tasty pies. People are sitting here and eating. All kinds of stores, candy stores. Looks nice. More fruits. Pomegranate. You can get some juice here. Some melons. It's nice. It's a place for the fresh squeezed juice. That's cool. More fruits. The meat section. That's nice. Being a vegetarian is not that popular in Ukraine. Maybe because we have a pretty cold winter and you need meat and rich food to keep you warm. But on average, Ukrainians eat very healthy food. And another thing that people who come here notice is that people walk a lot here. The city is designed for walking, so it's convenient to walk. It's not difficult to walk. And with the public transport system, it's not that difficult. Oh, you have some fish here. It's nice. Some more fruit. It's a Georgian bakery on the corner here. Pretty popular. Pretty big building actually. It has second floor with some cafes. Yeah, as I said, I think it's a pretty cool place to come and maybe enjoy a cup of tasty coffee and eat some pastry or buy some cheese or some fruits. It's really nice. It's not like a supermarket, and it has its charm. Baked goods. As I said, some good coffee here. Okay, now I'll be getting out and moving towards the Liberty Square. Okay guys, as I said, I'm heading out of the Sumskoy market, and now I'll head to the Sumskoy Street, and just 2 blocks away or 3 blocks away is the Liberty Square. So you have some trees here. You can tell the holidays are soon done. I'll show you just a few meters away. There is our main marriage palace. The story and the history behind the marriage palaces in the former Soviet Union is very interesting. When Bolsheviks came to power, they quickly realized that they have to change and replace so many things in the fabric of the old nation, because people used to get married in churches or synagogues, but now, because the communist state was supposed to be free of religion, they had to come up with something to replace it. But most people, they still wanted to have some kind of ceremony, because it's an event that you want to celebrate, and so they decided to create what became known as marriage palaces. Now they would first use the older buildings, and then they would build the new ones. Basically, it was a beautiful place, which kind of reminded a church, because it's also beautiful and it's special. So people would go there to get married. Now you can see this marriage place right there. This is the side of it, the left side. Now I'll go to the front. Of course, nowadays people can get married in churches, but you still have to come to one of the marriage palaces to get officially married. So you have the civil marriage, which is recognized by the government, because the church wedding in Ukraine is not recognized as an official wedding. So this is the entrance to the marriage palace. As you can see, it was built in 1913. Right there, you should be able to see. And the story behind this building is pretty awesome, actually, because it was initially built for the Tsar Nikolai II, because he was scheduled to come to Kharkov with his family and stay here for a couple of weeks during his tour around the southern and western borders of the Russian Empire. So of course the Tsar, the emperor, couldn't just stay in some hotel, right? So they built it from scratch, and after his stay, of course, you had to do something with it, and a local businessman bought it, and he lived here until 1918, when the building was confiscated by the new government, by the Bolsheviks, and he fled the country. So this is the story. It's really nice inside. I don't think it is not open right now, but it is very nice inside. And right across this building here is 100 Sumskoy Street. Unfortunately, this address has a very sad story for Kharkov, because this building, that's where Gestapo was located during the Nazi occupation of Kharkov, which lasted for almost 2 years, starting from October 1941 until August 23rd, 1943. So that's where the Gestapo used to be. So pretty sad. Okay, now I'm continuing to walk down the Sumskoy Street. You have it's one of the central streets along with the Science Avenue, and that's why you have lots of cafes, lots of shops here, lots of businesses, not so many apartments anymore, because the traffic on this street is, I think it's just too much noise to live. But people still live on the, if you see, there are a few floors up there. There are still apartments. Yeah. That large building behind me is not a residential building. This is an IT company, American IT company, located in Kharkov. That's their office. You'll be amazed by the fact that #1 taxpayer in Kharkov and Kharkov region is not some factory or some huge farm or whatever. The #1 taxpayer in Kharkov region is a company called Plarium. It's a Israeli IT company that specializes in producing the video games, and they have a big office. Their Ukrainian office is here in Kharkov. So they make video games, and they they pay the most taxes in Kharkov. That's quite amazing. The time we live in, you know, it used to be steel factories or tractor factories. Now it's a video game company that is #1 taxpayer. That's amazing. This institution here is a college for kids who have sight problems, who have problems with seeing. And I had a friend who studied here when he was at high school, and they really do an amazing job here helping kids who cannot see or can hardly see adjust to the society, which may not always be so easy, because we still have a lot to do in order to make Ukraine and places and cities in Ukraine and jobs in Ukraine accessible by people with disabilities, especially such as seeing disabilities. Okay, so this is the Sumskoy street. It's a bookstore. Always lots of traffic here, even on Sunday. But on weekdays it's packed. So many cars, so many people. Now we are almost at the Liberty Square. 5 more seconds to cross. This is the exit from the university subway station. It's one of the central stations. And this building here, remember I showed you the Feldman family museum of gallery? I'm not sure how it's called exactly. That's where it is. So this is the front. See, it says AVAC there on the top. That's the name of their business. So if you are interested in Kharkov, you are probably familiar with that building. This is the governor's office, and it faces the biggest square in Ukraine and 6th largest square in Europe. It's called Liberty Square, and that's where most of the festivities take place in Kharkov during the season of holidays, and also lots of concerts take place here as well. So they set up the tree already, but it was not officially opened yet because it's still in the process of setting up. So we will try to go there and see what's happening. Yeah, this is the building of the university right there. And so let's see if we can get inside. I see there is a fence, metal fence, but there should be an entrance. Yep, I see people going inside, so we should be able to do it too. Weather-wise, it's probably not the best day to be out because it's the snow turns into rain and then the rain turns into snow again. But as the saying goes, the nature doesn't have a bad weather. It's all good. I think by now they should have set up the skating rink already, so that's where we're heading. It should be there. Oh wow, it looks cool. I wonder what it is. Looks like... I don't know what it looks like. I'll have to come back here in a week or so to see what is that actually. So the trees, tall and beautiful. Have the advertising for the cell phones, of course. Yeah, I see the rink already, but let's see if people can skate yet, if it's open or not. Yeah, you can tell it's not finished yet. There is a lot of construction materials here. But the music is playing, so I don't know. Maybe they're testing it. Yeah. You know what? We should probably go from the other side. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through here. Oh, will it? No, I don't think I can. There's always lots of street food here, barbecue, shashlik. Shashlik is a very popular dish to eat in Ukraine. That's pieces of meat on skewers made over the fire. Oh, it's open, guys, it is. Guys, my walk is about to end, and so you see I'm walking away from the tree and the skating rink which you just saw. I wanted to thank you for joining me today. If you like my video, please put the like and subscribe to my channel. Have an awesome day and come again. Bye bye.